Hi, my name's Phil Rutt. I'm one of the automotive support engineers, and we're going to talk about connecting to vehicles, testing sensors, the difference between the multimeter and the scope, how to make connection, and we're going to show you a couple of things. So, first of all, we're using Pico 7. So we've got our 4425A connected onto channel A, and we're going to test a camshaft sensor. So we're now going to look at the camshaft sensor on the engine, and we've back pinned into the sensor, and this is a 2-wire sensor using a back pinning probe on the back. We've plugged our multimeter into the back of the test lead with our earth strap onto the engine, and we're now going to start the software up and show you what our results are going to be. So we're going to go sensors, camshaft sensors, Hall effect, and we're going to go guided tests. Now, you have probably looked at these guided tests many times, and we've got how to connect, what to do. So we're back pinning into the back of the sensor, we're putting the earth onto the engine earthing point. We're going to look for a waveform, and you can see. So this is really saying, how do we know what signal to go into, and how do we test a component? So we're going to close this down, and we're now going to start the vehicle up and see what happens. So I'm going to go over, start the engine up. We're plugged into our sensor. And we're going to start the software up, and we're using the guided test. So first of all, the software is showing us on the screen that we're actually over voltage. So although we've got 10 volts on the screen, we've got to increase the voltage. And even though we've gone up to 20 volts, because we've got interference on this engine from other things, it's still over voltaging. So we've actually got to go to 50 volts. So this shows you where actually on certain processes we're going to have to change the voltage scale because you're going to get over voltage indications on the screen. So if we stop the software and we bring down our measuring ruler, you'll see that we've got 15 volts on there, and on our voltmeter we've actually got 12.8 volts. So this just shows you the difference between our voltmeter and our PicoScope software. So like everything, the voltmeter does lie into effect of what we're doing, but we're going to actually turn off the engine now. One is so you can hear me, but the other is so we can actually go in and look at the software. So here we've got our waveform, and we've plugged into terminal number 2 on here with the back pinning probe. So we've got a signal. Now if we plug into the other side of the terminal, let's see what we get. So quite frequently you will have to just back pin into something to see what happens and see what information you get on the screen. You're not going to damage anything. So let's look at, start the software. Start the engine up and see what we've got on the screen. So we know that this is our signal from our ECU, because we've got a 12 volt feed. If we take this out, And we're going to the other side. You'll see we've got a signal on the screen now. So very, very important. You're not going to do any harm by going from one side to the other to see where it is. Remember, the signal may be switched by the ECU, and we look to see what's happening. So we've got our signal back as we had before. We're going to stop the software, and we're going to turn the engine off. So we can actually zoom into this as we would with any other signal, because what we're really looking at is we're looking at that these are all the same size, so we can actually lock them and we can drag them across to check that they're all exactly the same size as what we've got. They are. And we're looking at them repetitively across the screen to see that they're all uniform. Now, this little signal that we've got up here, I'm going to zoom into this. This is actually an ignition pattern from our ignition, and it's being picked up via the wiring loom in the vehicle. So don't disregard what you may see on the screen, because actually you are going to see interference, and that you don't actually want to filter it out. You can move the waveform up and down the screen. You can zoom in and zoom out. But this is the reason why we've had to actually change our voltage on our screen to 50 volts, because of the interference that we're picking up. Now, we can pick up interference from the engine, from the lights, from the wiring loom, and all sorts of things. So never disregard that. We're going to do a close-up of the back pinion probe so you can see exactly what there is. But we hope that this has helped you to understand how to use the Pico software, how to connect to a basic sensor. And what we're now going to do is just show you on the screen how to save all of the information that we've got. So if we worked on this car before, you can actually drop down the menu or put all the details of the vehicle, and we can go OK, and then we can actually go save and put in the details of the camshaft sensor. We can also put on here terminal 2, terminal 2, purple wire, and record all of that information within here on the page to be able to see what's going on. Okay, thanks a lot. Thank you.